Hello, friends, and welcome to this special session of the analysis of Indian English Literature part of UPHSC Revision 51 English Literature paper. So, my set was set D, and the first and the last page of my paper had questions on Indian English Literature. So, the first question, that is question 31 of the paper, was Maya in Cry the Peacock is obsessed with the astrological prediction that. Now, to answer this question, you need to know the detailed summary of the plot. Now, anybody who knows the detailed summary of the plot also knows the prediction made by the albino soothsayer of one of the spouses dying in the fourth year of marriage. Therefore, this is obviously the correct answer. The next question was, who is the presiding goddess of the village of Kanthapura in Raja Rao's novel of the same name? Once more, you did not need to go for deep study of the novel or first-hand study of the novel to answer this question. The only thing that you needed was a detailed plot summary. So anybody who knew the detailed plot summary would know that it is Kenchamma, the goddess. The third question was again from a novel. Where did Raju in R.K. Narayan's The Guide go right after getting out of jail? Now, this one needed much more than just a detailed plot summary. And the reason is that this is a minor detail that is not covered in a summary kind of thing. So probably either one needed access to a good question bank, because that's one way, or the other way is to actually read the novel. So in my case, I had read the novel, so I knew the answer. He went directly to the barber, but this was a bit confusing for those who had not read it. It was a bit confusing. Now we'll go to the next section, that is starting from 34. So question number 34, as you very clearly see, is again from Indian English Literature, this time from prose, from Macaulay's Minutes on Education. And this was a difficult question. In fact, it took a lot of time because it was an analysis-based question. Analysis too was required of the whole prose piece. Thank God it is not an inordinately long piece, but still, it demanded the command of the whole piece. Now, in India, English is the language spoken by the ruling class. Okay, it was there. We have to educate a people who cannot at present be educated by means of their mother tongue. Also was true according to the text. The tricky part was remembering that Macaulay mentions Russia as a country with large educated class, abounding with persons fit to serve the state in the highest functions. And that was also confusing because of uh, part C, being deceptive. It would be good enough to consult the natives in intellectual taste at the expense of their intellectual health. So between C and D, it was confusing. And because having read the text tells you that the concern about Russia was there, then you will be able to choose the answer, that is C. So again, first hand reading of the text in question 34 also was required. The persona in Sarojini Naidu is the flute player of Brindavan, compares herself or himself with this one. I'm still sorry about this, that I made it wrong. I had read the poem, of course, but uh, and I like poems too, but this one I marked an abandoned tree. I marked it wrong. The answer was obvious, and anybody who has read the poem, which is my case too, but still I marked it wrong. Anybody who has read the poem carefully would have marked a homeless bird. It's a very direct answer. And now we'll go to the next section. The next question was question number 97 from Indian English literature. And in this question that came from Mahatma Gandhi's Hind Swaraj, again, one needed first-hand reading of the text. So in Hind Swaraj, Gandhi is arguing with the extremists who want to make a violent revolution is a very obvious uh, information that is also found in contextual information. Indians allowed the Britishers to come and rule, that is inside the text. So, for this, you need to read the text or you need to have a detailed summary. By Western civilization, Gandhi means the modern capitalist culture, uh, either a good summary or a first-hand reading of the text. Gandhi, instead of citing Western scholars, cites Indian scriptures to bring his point home. Now, this one was difficult, because A, B, and C, you could get it from summary, a very good summary. But for D, either right or wrong. To choose this, which kind of scholars Gandhi cites from, actually, you needed to read at least, out of those 20 chapters, um, at least sample 5 to 7 chapters, random sample chapters. So half the book, if not the whole book, was required to be read. Otherwise, this one was going to be really difficult. So textual reading and understanding. Rajarao maintains that telling the Indian tale in English involves. This is a very famous, part of a preface, a very famous statement by Raja Rao. So only contextual information was required. There was no need to read the actual novel. And of course, the answer that is inside that quotation of Rajarao and the preface is describing in Indian language, not one's own, a spirit that is one own. It was a little bit confusing. Describing in a language that is not one's own, a spirit that is one's own is the actual quotation. And then true poetry, according to Sri Aurobindo, that is the future of poetry. The text that is prescribed is written under the influence of the Upanishads. Tricky is like a divine mantra. There is a whole chapter upon poetry as mantra cannot be translated, which is very much true. But then is like a divine mantra is true. Is dreamlike is also not impossible according to the book, but yet because the book emphasizes the mantra-like nature in one full chapter, this one was half guess and half reading, you may say, because I had seen the chapter outline, the contents page, and I'd also skimmed through, cursorily, not completely. I mean, it's a whole length book. Cursorily skimmed through a couple of chapters. So it was a combination of luck and work that the answer is like a divine mantra flashed from the very name of the chapter, poetry as mantra. Now we'll go to the last question here. The last question in Shashi Deshpande is that long silence. Jaya is renamed Dash after her marriage. Also does not need first-hand reading of the text, because any good summary will clearly and simply indicate that the name was Suhasini. And I will also here tell you that apart from only a couple of pages that are available on at Amazon.com, where that long silence is also in Kindle format is available. Only those few pages had I read, not the whole book. So this is one text that I had actually totally not read, but I had prepared the detailed summary. And the answer is from that detailed summary.